All right, so you were playing Dehaka. Where are you? There you are. What is this skin? What is this? Like mustard. The first thing about playing Dehaka is you gotta pick a scary skin because you're a scary dinosaur. No, so right off the bat, enhanced agility is not usually the pick on Dehaka. Most people go tissue regen. Allows you to lane against more types of people purely because you can survive more. You end up with way more regeneration. Pretty much every time you get regeneration, or you get every 50 essence, you get 4 more regeneration, up to 40. So you can increase your regeneration by 40 per second. Like, there's not a lot of people who can deal with that. So I like this right off the bat. Don't move while you're dragging minions, just auto attack. You can auto attack while you're dragging. You're just dragging for the extra damage. So you get in the middle of the wave like you did, press Dark Swarm like you did, and then you're going to do a quick Q, and then just keep auto attacking minions, and you can wipe out the whole back wave in seconds. Don't use a second W here, simply just let it go, and take a step back. Do not pressure. Usually I try to clear the wave quickly, and then what I'll do is I'll go down here, and I'll try to stall out the person who's going to try to soak the wave. For example, if they're mid and they see that you're top, they're going to start heading up here, here, and then try to catch the soak here. If you kill the wave and immediately come down here, you can stop them from getting soak, and you can hit him with a Q right now and do like half of his health, and you'll miss the soak here. So right off the bat, you could have cost them more soak than you did. It's not a big deal, but it does add up. It was a good spray. Now, I will say that spray is banned in competitive, but that doesn't really matter. What is competitive? Again, don't drag if you hit a minion. Just don't worry about it. Abuse the bushes. Hide in a bush here, and just wait. See if he wastes his Q to try to reveal you. If not, if he pushes too far forward, you walk out, you use your Q, and you walk back in, and that's it. You'll be forced to kind of stay up here if you're using this bush down here. And you want the wave to be closer to the turrets for you. Phoenix generally should beat a Dehaka, so in a one-on-one situation, there's not much you can do, but you can join your team in the 4-man often. So that's how you're going to really want to win this, is play safe in the one-on-one and then abuse the fact that you have a global and he doesn't. Looks like he's missing another wave of soak, which is odd. You're positioning to get the objective first. This will apply a lot of pressure, just because they know they're going to have to deal with this. I think Phoenix is getting a camp. Okay, let's say. Fine that he gets a camp. Your team just needs to make sure that they can hold bot lane, and you have your Z available in case they commit to a fight. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about this so much. You're not going to be able to take it back against 2 people. Your goal right now should just be to focus on clearing the camp safely and focusing on soaks safely, and then watching bottom lane. You actually don't even need the Brightwing here, but double global's okay, I guess. Try not to use your Q on areas that it's easy for the enemies to dodge. Like, try to save your Q for like if the enemies only have one area to run away from, or save your Q for another CC. So like if someone CCs, then you use your Q. It's very rare that you can land a Q just on someone who's expecting it. Right here, mainly just focus on the minions. Just W the minions. You're not going to be able to get any kills here. And you can see how your W, half of your W is wasted while you were down here. Focus on using your W on as many minions as possible. I know this guy. So she'll be able to interrupt once, and you can jump to this if you need to. I would be jumping here, probably. Like, you're not going to be able to beat this guy. I would use my trait and then just jump into this bush and see if you can get a kill. Because you can guarantee get a kill on someone here. Because you're not going to be able to take this back anytime soon. So that's where you want to, like, Z down. Z right here, you get a kill on Stitches. You need to be using your globals. Really, what happens a lot of times with... Try to do it while they're distracted in fights. Try not to do it just when they're out. Try to do it like when a fight's going on and they're distracted and they need to choose whether or not they want to stay or not. gonna fast forward a bit. So the big thing, you need to work on your trait. You need to work on your Z. And the biggest way that I would say is when you're losing a lane like this, you need to try to Z in while your team's fighting over another objective. So you can jump down, help them out, win the fight, and then you can go back to your lane and just soak. And the thing about Dehaka on this map is you generally lose in the one-on-one, but you do tend to win team fights. So in the early game, you're not going to be able to do very much. But as the game goes on and death timers get longer, you get a lot of value. You got hooked into that, which not much you could have done other than maybe watch for the hook a little bit more. Again, looking at the builds, so few things. So tissue regen is going to be a lot better. Okay, another thing here, always walk to lane so you have your Z available in case you need it. The only time you really need to Z to lane is if you know there's never going to be a time where you're not going to need your Z for a while. Or if you know you can get like a good chunk of experience on the enemy. Another trick you can do in the early game when you're playing Dehaka is you can actually go bot first, clear out bot, and then Z up top and clear out top. That way there's 2 sets of waves that are being pushed into towers, and the enemies have to pretty much leave or they lose 2 whole waves. So on level 4, these are the 2 talents you want to be picking up. So one Hero Stalker you pick up on maps where you're going to be seeing a lot of team fights and the enemies have a lot of melee. One Who Collects is what you're going to be picking up 90% of the time. It's going to make it to where you stack your tissue regen so much faster. You can finish your tissue regen like level 10. It's insane. Because you're just gaining so much. Because effectively what's going to happen is every minion is dropping, what, like 2 or something? 2 essence from a minion, which means you're getting 3 from minions. And there's an entire wave of 7 minions. That's 21 per 30 seconds. Or 40 per minute. Okay, so 40 per minute. That means that we're 4 minutes into the game. The first minute doesn't count because minions were still walking into lanes. But that's almost 5 minutes at 40 per minute. That's 200 essence, or essentially, what are we at on tissue regen? Every 50. So you would be at like 20 regen. You'd be halfway done at 4 minutes into the game. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? Is like your regen would be so high right now that you would never need to use your trait. You could just engage on this guy. You could just walk right into him every single time. So while he should beat you because he can just kite you, he's not going to be able to like hold these points against you because all you have to do is sit on this, and when he walks up, you just combo him. And you can just walk right into him. He's not going to be able to do that much because you're going to be healing so much. But with Hero Stalker, you need to be abusing these bushes, and you're not even abusing these bushes either. Or not Hero Stalker, Enhanced Agility. Like, Enhanced Agility, you only get the movement speed if you go into the bush. So you have to go into the bush, get the movement speed, and then charge at him. The problem is that you don't have the regen, so he can just poke you out of lane. And then at so level 4, I want you to be practicing with One Who Collects. So tissue regen into One Who Collects. Into level 7, always cooldown. The drag duration is only good if your team's really going to be following up on everything. Cooldown is good because it allows you to siege harder, because you can use your Q on siege. It allows you to take fights more often, and it allows you to pull multiple times in a fight. Yeah, and again, you just took a fight that was pretty bad, so you don't have the regen to really take these. And you're not gaining the essence from minions as fast either. The other thing that's cool about this is it actually increases the amount of essence you can have. So it increases your essence up to 60, and at level 13 you can get something that increases your damage. So you get an extra 10% damage off of your level 1 talent too. And more healing. It's just such a good talent combo when you get all 3 of these, the level 1, level 4, and level 13. It's insane. So again, they get another dragon because your Z was on cooldown and the Phoenix just kind of bullied you out of lane. You don't have any regen. So when you get in situations like this where you have like no health, just back. You're useless right now. You can't step up, and you're just going to be too afraid to do anything. So you can pretty much back and get back to lane before anything else happens. So it's best to just back here. You don't want to like accidentally die. And then you also don't want to be sitting in the back doing nothing. Like, all of this is wasted time. To give you an idea, like, going back and then making it to any point on the map takes less than 30 seconds. So if you're going to be doing nothing for 30 seconds, you always want to be doing that. Again, try not to Z unless you can, like, get them in the middle of a fight. These are cool, but the problem is that these are... You're Zing to a place where your team needs to be, but they don't need to be right away. And you're having your team off in a lane that you should be. Like, you should have walked top and your team would have walked bot. Top lane's always tough to push on this map because you can't push past this. So a lot of teams just completely ignore top lane. Like, they'll leave their solo laner up there and just ignore the rest. That's not bad. You can see if you can get it into tower range. Close. I have no idea what that is. Big thing right now is you need to be setting up for another objective. Top lane would be nice. He's dead for sure. And you don't have escapes. So be cautious about engaging as a Dehaka like this because you don't really have an escape. So you can maybe save your team, but most likely you're going to get... They're still going to die and you might also die. So I'd always be cautious about that. I would be more happy for you to just press Z down here and get a kill on Stitches than I would for you to try and save someone. Like right here, again, this is another situation. You Z down here, and you're going to body block the Stitches. The only way he gets out is by gorging or biling. And if he biles, you can just press Q and then pull him back in. And your team gets a kill here. Oh, nice. You can even kill this. Evo's going to be so much easier to kill. Boom, right there. Keep auto-attacking him. So that's the big issue is when you are using Q on people, you always think the drag is what you should be doing, when in reality, you can just Q and then auto-attack them 3 times and he would have been dead. And that's it. Like, you don't need to always drag. And your team wasn't ready for a fight, so... Whoa. Moved faster. How did you move faster? Weird. Huh. What do you have on your team? How'd you move? Your Brightwing wasn't alive yet. Weird. Maybe you were just slow the whole time and then the slows ended. I don't know. It was weird. Level 13, again, if you were to pick up the talents I mentioned, you always go the attack damage. This allows you to really blow up like someone like a Phoenix, where you land a pull on him and you hit him 3 times with auto attacks, doing 60% bonus damage, and he has to use his E to get out every time or else he dies. So you just win those trades. That's pre-tapping. Pre-tapping's pretty good if you expect a fight to happen. You can play a little bit more aggressive. You got a nice ult over onto the Lucio, allowing you guys to just DPS the Dragon Knight for free. I will say that usually it's better to use your isolation during a team fight rather than just here, but I'll take it. You did scare off the Dragon Knight. It's at 4%, did a lot of damage to it, so I think that's pretty good. But try not to press your trait, but you will need to, yeah. When you press your trait, you lose the attack damage. And because you don't have any way to get your stuff back faster, you're not going to be able to have that bonus attack damage. That's the reason why it's so good to have Tissue Regen and One Who Collects. Because One Who Collects allows you to get it quickly off of minions, while Tissue Regen allows you to regen your health without needing to use your trait. So if you get out of a fight, you're healing yourself for 40 per second. It's insane. So... you don't really need any other help. You pretty much heal your trait value without using your trait when Tissue Regen's done. And again, it's just late on your Zs. You need to do it while your team's fighting, not when it's like in between fights. I might have a Dehaka playthrough I can show you. been a little while, but I play him here and there. Try to save your W until you're actually in the wave first. I see you press W sometimes and start walking up to the wave. Make sure that you're in the wave first. Like, that would have been a great time to Z. Like, your team's fighting over nothing. I mean, your team's fighting over nothing, so they shouldn't be fighting there anyways, but still. Is that only his first part? Oof, that's rough. This is pretty bad. Won't get too much into this. It's just overall a little unlucky. It takes you too long to do camps on Dehaka that you need to make sure that the enemies are distracted by stuff. Like if they all die, the first thing the teams are gonna do is go straight for your camps. So, and that is pretty much game. Surprisingly, they don't end here. All they have to do is go mid, destroy mid, and then walk through. But I'll fast forward a little bit. The big thing I would say too is I feel like a lot of these fights you're focusing really heavily on your Q. Dehaka is really powerful for just using your W, walking in, and then like following stuff up with your Q rather than engaging with it. So for example, if you see a Murden land a stun, you follow up with a pull, and it really allows you to get one thing after another. It's really powerful. Oh, you guys are losing down here. Someone's... Oh, they changed. Okay. Okay, so you're good there. Let me see where you're at. You're going mid. You're kind of just pushing. I do think you guys could steal that, but you should be pushing like bot forever because you have the global. You want to make sure that you're in the areas where your team can use you. Again, try to get the whole group pulled together before you use your W. Everything would have been dead. So there are a few things I really want to show you this game. Oh, and that's also a talent. Now this one's actually kind of used. You can move while burrowing. It is used sometimes, but most people go for the increased range. 20% doesn't seem like a lot, but it's usually the difference. Usually the difference. But I do think channeling while burrowing's okay if you're taking a lot of hits. I would say it's perfectly fine. And this fight's you guys are just down people. Really all it is. You're missing like all your damage. You literally have only a Maev for damage. And while she can do a lot of damage, it's not enough. So you guys lose here. I do want to see really quick if I do have a Dehaka game I can show you. I've played one pretty recently, but I don't remember how recent. There it is, Storm League, Towers of Doom. So that is March 29th. We're going to go watch. March 29th, and look for Towers of Doom. Oh, it's right there. Okay. So I'm going to pull this up, and I just want to show you a little bit on how these games go. And how you should be playing these with your ults and everything, and your Z. So the first thing that I want to show you is what I do at the start of this game. And you can do this too. Like any Dehaka can do this. So you go in the opposite lane of what solo lane you want to go in. I want a solo lane top lane because I want my team to be near the most camps so that they can do the most. So I go bot first, and then I start off by hiding. I wait till the wave shows up, and what you did a lot of times is you'd pop your W here and then walk into the wave. Do you see I wait to do my W until it's going to hit everyone? Then I spawn my W. I use my Q, and I automatically start auto-attacking the minions. As I use my Q, I didn't drag them anywhere. I automatically start attacking them. I kill the backline first as they do the most damage, and then I Z up top. As I'm Zing, that minion's dying. I get the experience of the last minion dying down there and the first minion dying up here. And then I start working on this. So I'm costing them experience down here, even though they did come up here. you kind of see how, like, I got my team a good chunk of experience ahead, and they were all able to stay mid lane to get that extra wave and that extra globe. In fights, you can see how I'm playing kind of forward and backward. I'm not trying to give him free auto attacks on me, but at the same time, I'm trying to just do some damage. I do pick up tissue regen, so you'll see my regen in the late game. But I already have one. I already have the 4 health regen already. So you can see how fast my health's regenerating as it stands. You can see how fast that number's moving up. And that's off of just a single proc of that. Now, I lose against Artanis. This is not a lane that I'm favorable against. Best I can do is just try to get soak when these minions are dying and make sure that he's not doing a camp. That's really all I'm going to do this game, is make sure that he's not doing a camp. I'm also watching to see if there's any areas that I can Z in and try to go for a kill. But kills aren't really worth as much as soak right now. So you're going to see I probably won't use my Z for a long time. I use my trait before I kill minions usually, just so I can get a little bit of healing. And I'm also trying to freeze the lane a little bit. I don't want to kill minions. I want to keep them over near me. And I pop my trait every time it's up right now, as I'm just trying to get those. I get the one who collects, so I can heal off of minions, because again, I'm struggling against this guy. I don't want to have any issues. And look how fast I'm getting essence now. I'm at 2. That means now I'm healing 8 health per second now. This thing is absolutely just trucking at the moment. If I was to click on myself, I don't think we can... I have 13.9 health per second. If we look at Artanis right now, Artanis is at 6 health per second. I'm healing 3 times as much as Artanis per second. So we can take trades, and I'm a little bit more favorable on the trades now. So I can play a little bit more aggressive on him because I know I have way more regen, and I've got this. I'm at 3 of these now. My regen's at 18 health per second. You kind of see how this is adding up now? Like, it's so much easier to get all this stuff. And we go for a channel. And I just let that person die. And I go back to my lane. That's it. I'm just pushing again. They can have that objective. We already won 2 of them. I don't care about anything else. My goal is just experience and just getting my quests done. I want to get as much regen as I possibly can. Like, right now, 37 health per stored essence over 5 seconds. I mean, I guess this is a lot more healing than the passive, but still. Crazy. I just want to make sure he's not doing the camp. So you see me go in every once in a while. Pop my trait. Defend against them. Like, again, I just don't want them getting a camp. You don't... With Dehaka, you never really need to win your lane. Like, you just need to, like, make sure that the enemies don't get major advantage out of you being up here. If they start just dominating you, you need to make sure that they don't get anything, which is why I don't play Dehaka on Dragonshire, and I don't play Dehaka on Braxis. So right here, I just sit on this. I have a lot of regen. He's not going to be able to beat me. I have way more regen than he does. So it's just a matter of me just stunning him, getting my cooldown lowered. You see how I'm auto-attacking him to get my cooldown lowered on my Q? And I never dragged him out. I never dragged him away. I just used the stun on him, auto-attacked him. So you can use the drag for just a stun whenever you want to. But in one-on-one situations, it's so much better to just do that. Now, we know that the Stitches is here, so what should I be looking for right now? I should be looking for an area that I can Z down. But I want to make sure that I'm in an area that's actually going to catch him. If I Z right here, I'm going to waste a lot of time trying to get down here. But if the fight starts happening here, I can Z right here and catch someone and get a kill. So I'm going to try to look right here and get a Z during the objective, when they're distracted, when they're fighting. You see? Like, they're fighting, they don't know what they're doing, and here I come. Boom. I keep her in the stun, and we take her out. I mean, I don't even think we take her out, but we scare her away enough. I joined during a fight. I didn't jump in and then run in. I didn't run in after a fight. I didn't run in to save something. I jumped in during a fight and caught someone that was trying to run away. We're going to fast forward, and I'll show you more Z options. Now you see kind of how I play and how this build works. Because you see, I mean, my regen now. Do you see? It's level 10, and I'm almost done. I have 36 health regen per second. Like, my health is literally just shooting up. Every 3 seconds, it goes up by 100. It's insane. Next objective's top, so I go bot, and I start pushing. I looked at the map for a second to see if I wanted to join him, but I didn't really want to Z in. But I'm watching. Like, you can see I take a couple steps back when I'm watching my team. And then even when I'm attacking minions like this, I watch my team and I go, is there any place I can Z in? And if we're already winning the fight, I'll usually just leave it and I'll take, like, bottom. But if we're not winning the fight, I'll Z in. Once again, I'm Zing in during a fight. During a fight. And I just get right on him. That's it. That's all you do. I use my E so I don't spread the bomb anymore. Tried to hit the stitches with that, but it's got a really weird hitbox. And I don't actually like this fight, so I think I tell everyone to back up, but yeah, I think I just let him die. Or not. Ooh, close. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, you just need to apply pressure and Z during fights. And you'll see, I mean, I don't think there's any times where I back, but normally you'll see when I back, I will walk back to a lane. And you see, I'm making sure that they don't do camps. That's the only thing that you need to do in the solo lane is make sure they're not getting any extra value. Raynor bullies me a lot. I mean, this is like the Phoenix matchup. But you can see, I mean, I'll gain trait a lot faster. And I'll have to deal with the camp. I can't deal with both of them up here. So I'm just going to have to deal with the camp when they pick it up. And I'll probably just let it go through. You can see, I mean, I'll get my trait back up pretty quickly. I'm not too worried. And I have my full thing, so I have 40 extra healing per second. So I'm at 48 health per second. So my regen will allow me to really hold my own in these areas. And I'm at 13, so I get this bonus damage now. I get 60% bonus attack damage. So I'm hitting for 245 when I'm fully stacked. Sorry, I don't even know. I'm not fully stacked yet. So at 60 stacks, 277 damage. So I Z down again. Now that time I thought there was a fight going on right away. There wasn't. We get a really awkward fight, honestly. If I remember, this one was real bad for us. Like, we had our Jaina who's just off. But yeah, that's all I'm going to really show on that. I do end up winning this game. I could fast forward through it while I'm saying it. But the big things that I'm seeing for you is efficiency. You need to save your W's for when you walk up. You need to use your Q's and immediately start auto-attacking. And you need to adjust your build. You need to Z in during fights where the enemies can't walk away from this fight. They need to take this fight because they're already in the middle of it. You can see how I'm getting in these fights and I'm following up stuff with my stuns. I'm just sitting in these fights, using my E to prevent damage, and we're just dominating. I use my R's. I try to wait a little bit until I see that the fight's actually happening, and then I'll use my R to like lock down 1 or 2 people on the enemy team, and we go from there. And that's it, guys. Like that. This is what you do on Dehaka. So I hope that helps you out. I know I spent the majority of the time showing that, but I will say the map is where you probably had the biggest struggle on it. Dragonshire's really, really rough for Dehaka because you lose most maps, and the best case scenario, you Z down, you take a good fight down at bot lane, and then you have to walk your way all the way back up to top lane again. So best case scenario, you don't even get that much. But I do want you to start practicing some of the tricks that I did, like that level 1 grab two waves, and it forces the enemies to split up early, and if they don't split up early, they lose a lot of soak. So we were against a pretty decent team, so they were able to split up early and get the soak. But that doesn't always happen. Like, I've gotten 2 to 3 full waves on people by doing that as Dehaka. So I'd recommend doing that. Hopefully that helped you out, and if you have any questions, let me know.